Hello everyone, my name is Bob. Inflation, it is a very important part of the world economy and also about the investment because it has the ability in order to reduce the actual purchasing power of the money. So now I will talk about the overall inflation and how it affects how it actually affects the purchasing power and also just go deep about what actually caused it, what is its impact, and when is it good, when is it not good, and how does the government actually controls it. Okay, so first, and I think that I have talked in many videos, but I will still talk, which is about the definition of inflation. Inflation, it happens when the general prices of goods and services rise, or in other words, the amount of, or in other words, it reduces the purchasing power of the money, which I have said before. And about what causes inflation, I have actually talked in a daily edition videos. I will just so I will just talk simply here. The inflation in general happens because of first about the demand, second it is about the supply, and third it is about the implications of the actual inflation rate. And I will just talk. So that means that. So if people want more, the demand for that particular goods or services is rising, but the amount of supplies of that goods and services still remain the same. That it means the workers or the managers will have to hire more people, and so that means that they have to spend more, and thus leading to an increase in the pricing. And so if the supply of a thing, of a goods or services, it goes down because of some reasons, maybe because of overseas supplies or because of the national or international inflation rate, it's just and it will affect, although the demand may still remain unchanged. It means inflation. That means the prices of that good or services will rise up. And then also about the expectations, it means that if the business expect the inflation rate to drop, that means it will encourage that business to spend, and thus it might help for the inflation rate to actually reduce. But if many businesses believe that the inflation rate will rise up, then they will just cut spending, and thus making the inflation rate maybe actually go up as well. And then next, I will talk about how does the government actually control the inflation rate with the interest rate. So first, we have to understand what is interest rate. Um, Interest happens because when people borrow money, there is always a chance that the borrower will not return the money to the lenders, and so thus the lender must get a reward for that risk, and it means at the interest rate or at the interest. So that means the borrowers will be charged an extra percentage of the borrowed money that the borrower will have to repay. And so now I will talk about what is the effects of inflation rate due to the interest rate to the inflation. So about that, then if the inflation if the interest rate is high, then what does that mean is that uh, people will have to pay more in order to borrow money, and the people who already borrow money will have to buy a higher percentage of that borrowed money because it is compound interest. And it means that people will have less money in their pocket, and that means they will spend less because they spend on things less because they have less money. So that means in the governments we have less tasks, and that means the business we have less money because people spend less, and it means overall that the people we have that means the business we have to go spending, government will lose money, etc., and thus leading to the fall in the demand, and also so maybe the supply will still be there, but the fall in demand making it to the inflation rate to actually goes down because people will spend less. So that means the less demand, and thus making prices go down and thus control inflation rate. But it also means that if the interest rate it is too high, then it will have big effect, and maybe the effect of the inflation rate it won't definitely be immediate. It will be like after a short amount. It will be maybe after 3 months, 5 months, or even like a year. And it can also causes a recession if the interest rate is too high. And it's just about that. And next up, I will talk about when is inflation good and when is inflation not good. Or in other words, why is the inflation rate of like 1%, 2%, 3% is good, but like 10% is definitely not good. So now, when there is inflation rate, a little bit of inflation rate like 3%, then it means that it is a really low inflation rate. So it encourages the people to borrow money because they just have to pay less. I just have to pay a little amount of that borrow money. So that means if we make the people, the people will borrow more and spend more. Also, that means it will encourage the economies to keep growing. But if the inflation rate is too high, that means the government, that means people will not be encouraged to spend more. Because, like I said before, if inflation rate is too high, then the government or the central banks will have to rise interest rate. And it also means that and for the immediate effect, it means prices are going up with really high rises, and it means it affects everyone because they have to pay more for the supply, they have to pay more for the necessary goods, and for the business, they have to pay more in order to hire people. We have to pay more in order for the raw materials, etc. So that means people will have less money overall. They will spend, they will have less things with the same amount of money. It will decrease the purchasing power. And that absolutely means that the demand will go down, less supplies, etc. And thus causing the wealth countries already to go down. So that means the economy will just slows. And so in other words, if it is 10%, and I will just target like high inflation, and I will just take out a real world example for this. Maybe you will have noticed, but afterwards, remember where, then this is a time when it is a really high inflation rate, like 500% or something. But I don't actually remember it, but it is so high. The people we have to like carry a huge package of money to just buy bread, to just buy books, to just buy paper. And thus, people end up making pottery out of money, and making lanterns or making everything out of money because it is way cheaper for them to do that than buying the actual raw materials, and which is just making the overall money worthless. The economy will just keep shrinking and shrinking. And that can be studied on the stock, or because afterwards, if the interest rate is too high, then that means the business will spend less, so that means there will be less customers, and thus meaning that the overall stock prices will which generally went down and thus causing the investors to lose money, etc. and many of them. But anyway, I think I have talked a little bit too much in the video, so I will bye. I will say goodbye to all of you and bye bye. I hope all you will have a great day.